Tessa from Mama's Geeky here. Thank you so much for stopping by my YouTube channel.
Hey, Kevin, I'm Tessa with MamasGeeky.com.
Hi.
How are you today? Good?
Good. Doing well. Thank you.
Yeah. So I watched the movie with my kids. They're 9 and 10. My 9-year-old daughter is obsessed with the vomit scene. She's cracking up. She's in hysterics. I'm sitting there feeling like I'm going to vomit myself. And she loves it. She thought it was the funniest thing in the world. Can you talk about filming that scene?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not good. Like even from when very early on, if my kids threw up, I can't be near it. I have to leave the house, and not only the house, the county. I've got to get away from it, because if it goes with one of them throws up, and I smell it or see it or whatever, I'm gone. So I'm not good. My wife knows that she's much better, and I'll do other dishes. I'll wash everything else to make up for the fact that she's got to clean up the throw up. I can't do it. So shooting that scene, even just watching it happen, and we would have, obviously it was technically they would have these little things that shoot the vomit out. I couldn't even look at it. Right, it was just disgusting. I don't even want to know what it was. It was like this weird pea soup and oatmeal and just weird stuff, but it was one of the funniest scenes to me, and shooting it, but also I couldn't look it straight on. I didn't watch any of it directly.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm always the type that, like, if I see someone, like my kids, especially if they vomit, like it makes me sick. So
yes, I'm gone.
I watched the film, and there were some moments where it just was all out hilarious. And so I was just curious, when you're on the set and having those moments, how many takes did you guys have to do with the kids on the field to kind of get them all calm down and together to actually shoot those scenes?
Yeah. Anytime you're doing a funny comedy scene and you have a lot of players and especially kids, where they can break, they're easier breaking than even the adults know to try to keep it together. Although I got to say, a lot of the adults broke too. It can be crazy difficult. The fact that it's humid in New Orleans and the heat, and you're like, hey, let's get through it. That helps out a little bit. So the amount of sweat you have makes you want to get through it. But man, there were some tough scenes. There really were. And the kids were really good. They really were good. But I think it was the adults who broke more. I think we were laughing even more.
How you doing? I'm Adam Cohen from datarocks.com. Kevin, we've actually gotten to speak before. And my question is, this is a true story, right? This is based on Sean's life. So, being a dad and being involved in the kids' sports, how do you feel like this really translated to like Sean's life to your life and to put it into film?
Oh, I mean, it translated tremendously, because, just talking to Sean, and when I spoke with him about getting all the information about what happened and how he came, the process of him coming out to coach his kids' team, he would get emotional, man. It was a great time in his life. It was because it enabled him. It was a moment in time, in his life where he was able to stop and have the time to go back and reconnect with his son. And it became the greatest moment in season of his life. I mean, to be able to spend time with him. And he would get emotional when I would talk about it. Like he was really tearing up because of the, recalling all the great times they had and doing that, and the relationship, how it's grown from there, he said. And, it was that suspension that enabled him to be able to do this, to give him that time off. So it took something that wasn't great from there to turn it into something amazing. And like I said, the greatest season of his career definitely translated for me, because I was like the same thing. You get so wrapped up, that we all do. And, our jobs and spending time with our family can take second, can be pushed to the back of the stove there. So I took out time recently, and I said, I'm doing this too. And I my kids love to act in this small local community theater stuff. So I joined a play with them, and we got to all act together. I wouldn't take any other work, and it was the hardest job I've ever done, even harder than that. It was so stupid, because I'm an Oliver and I'm playing Fagin, and I didn't realize I'd have to sing. I should have just been like one guy who stepped on, said a line, and left off. But I committed to it. I auditioned. I got it to, the part, and I've been singing and doing it now with them for a little bit, and I got a couple more performances, and then, but like I said, it's amazing to be able to do this stuff with your kids and to be able to spend time with them. That's the stuff you can't get back. So He taught me that, and I recommend it to everybody.
When it came to this part, obviously we know that Sean Payton is a real person, and was there a little bit of Kevin in Sean's character that you could tell us?
Unfortunately, because I'm renting the space, there has to be like it's going to be. I'm going to bring a little bit of me to it, but I tried to get him as much as I could. Right down to the voice. His dialect was so hard to get. Even he would admit it. He goes, because I go, I'm not getting you, like, because I tried Southern, but he's not just like he lived in Texas but he was born in California, and he's been all over the place. He was in New York for a while, but he's got a weird kind of accent, and it would go in and out, and he said it would too. So I was a little nervous about doing that in front of him, but just bringing myself to it as much as and having fun with it and being like how I would react in this situation. There's a little bit of that in there, but I tried to bring as much of him, because it is a true story, based on a true story of Sean Payton, to make it as much Sean Payton as I can. And if I didn't know what Sean Payton would do, I'd bring a little bit of me and how we would kind of combine it. And it was fun. It was a fun process.
Hi, Kevin James.
Hi.
I'm Amanda from Guide for Geek Moms and a Saints fan, who dat from New Orleans. So I was all about this movie. But my question is, you played two parts in this. Was this always the plan? How did it come about that you have these two roles?
What two parts am I playing? What do you mean in this?
It was Sean Payton and then the assistant.
Oh, the assistant.
Yes.
How am I the assistant? Oh, when I'm in that part?
Yes.
Oh, you think the assistant in the show? I'm confused. I'm sorry. I'm confused on the part. So no. I was only one part in this movie. Maybe it was my brother. That's what you're thinking. My brother.
Your brother.
Yes.
Oh,
okay. Yes.
Okay. Are you twins?
No, but I'm completely insulted that you think I look like him that much because of the size of his belly over mine. He's shorter than me. He's much uglier. I can't believe you thought that was me.
I was going to ask. That was part of my question. I was like, did you have to get into costume and get a... I thought it was a prosthetic.
No. Oh my gosh. I can't wait to tell him this. Thank you so much. This brings now joy to my life. Yeah, no, that was my brother. That's my brother, Gary. He played Coach Mitch. He was the assistant coach. And yes. And I do like to abuse him in the way that, like, whenever he's in a movie with me, I like to make him do, he has to wear like a push broom mustache. That was in this movie. Some movies I'll shave his head. I just like to have fun with it. But
tell him he has gotten a new fan here.
Yes. Yeah, he's a funny guy, and he did an amazing job with this. But I'm not lying. I am a little hurt that I look that much like him. Okay, we've got to make some changes. Okay.
Thank you.
What drew you to this project? Because I mean, it's a beautiful story, but what did you personally find why it was important to do this?
Just how Sean Payton turned, he's such an amazing coach, Super Bowl winning coach, and how he turned, a potentially bad situation into an amazing situation, even bigger and better. It took time and stopped his life and kind of refocused on what's important and went back home and did it and just said, this is what I'm going to do. And that moved me, and we all need to do that in life sometimes, right? To stop and really, kind of regroup and figure out what's important and refocus and do that. And, the challenge is when life has got you down is finding that moment, that positive moment to pick yourself up again. That's the hard thing, because it looks like it's life has gotten so much worse, and maybe it has in some ways, but there's always an opportunity. And look, I mean, we're not making a movie about the Super Bowl Saints. It's got nothing to do with them. Because of this considered, horrible thing that he turned into a massive win, a victory. We're making a movie about that, this relationship with his son. So it just shows you that, again, amidst, all this horrible things in our lives, the things that happen, these downswings, that we can always turn them up, and win.
I love that. Thank you.
Sure.
Carolina, you have the next question.
Hi, Kevin. I'm Carolina from What C Says. I'm a huge fan, so thank you for being here. My question is, so these kids, they just kind of needed a little push, needed someone to believe in them. So, what message do you want families and kids, and even younger boys, to kind of take from this film?
Yeah, I mean, always these kids come together as a team, and support each other, and they get their butts kicked at times too. There's, it's about suffering through the loss and being able to come together as a team and win in their own right, and overcome this, challenges in life, that you see in the movie where he sings to the girl and this and that, and whatever's got you down. They all have your own little issues in our life, but it's like, we got to get through them, and we can overcome it all. And even with what's going on in the world now, it just shows you that's like we overcame that by shooting this movie and making this movie during a crazy time, and these kids were great with it, and everybody was just amazing with it. And it's life imitating art, and art imitating life, and it's basically shows you the model of, you got to persevere. That's all.
Thank you so much to all of my monetary supporters, my members here on YouTube, as well as my patrons. If you haven't joined yet, please consider doing so. We have some really awesome perks, including a monthly Zoom meeting where we get to talk face to face. Thank you again to everyone who supports me.